Alright Hershey's, time to make a new video with you. Are you ready for it? Why does everyone keep leaving me? Look at that face. Perfect timing. So that is one of the many reasons why leopard geckos are one of the most, if not the most common lizard to get. Aside from them being, being cute, they are very easy to keep. They are very easy to handle. They, even if they bite you, it will not hurt unless it's a full-grown male. It will probably hurt a little bit. I don't know, I've never been bit by a grown male, but it's not like it's gonna hurt a lot. But anyways, let's get to the point. And I wanted to make this video so that new people can learn how to know if their leopard gecko is healthy or not. Now there are a few different ways that you can see if a gecko is not healthy, is unhealthy. And when you get it new, one of the many things that many people worry about, including me, I did this, is that sometimes they will not eat at first. So right away they think something is wrong with my gecko, he's not healthy, or she's not healthy. And that is not always the case. Them not eating at first is actually not the best way to know if your gecko is healthy or not. Actually, the very first thing that you want to see is how they move. It might sound kind of weird to some people, but this is actually the first thing that you want to see. One of the many things that I always tell people whenever they get a new lizard is to simply put it somewhere where it's gonna walk. Obviously, make sure that there's no bigger animals around. Okay. Alright, she wants to go home, so I'm just gonna take her. Okay. Alright, so you guys can see how she walks. I move, one of the heights. So take a look at the way that she walks. It's simply straight. She's not with the tummy on the floor. You can see that there's no like bent bones. And you can see that the spine is basically straight. This is one of the ways to know right away that you have a healthy gecko. Now, the reason why you want to see this is because if you will see that she's walking basically in her elbows, I'm just gonna call her elbows, is because she has MBD. So obviously that would not be a sign of a healthy gecko. If they are also walking with the eyes closed, or basically just standing there with the eyes closed, that is also another way to know that it's not a healthy gecko. So that is actually the very first thing that you want to see. And the reason why I always say this is because whenever you get a new reptile in general, they always take time to adjust to their new environment. Sometimes they will act like normal. For example, this leopard gecko that I got, she acted normal right away. Now, okay, but some, they will usually hide for even days and sometimes even weeks. And especially the reason why I was saying that them not eating is usually not a problem at first is because normally they take time to eat. And the reason is simple, they are basically just stressed because they are in a complete new environment. Now I was very lucky with her because actually the very same day that I got her, put her in her setup, and that very night she ate. So obviously that was very good. This is something that is not usually common. For example, my last leopard gecko that I got, it took her an entire month to eat. And trust me, I was freaking out. What I will say is that even if they are not eating, always offer until they decide to eat. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes they just take days, sometimes weeks. But these are basically the best ways to know if you get a healthy gecko. Now, another way is to actually look at their poop. Now, this is something that might be gross to some people, but dealing with reptiles, you have to look at their poop. If their poop is basically all watery, that's not good. There is something wrong. Okay, also if the urates are very yellowish, that is also not a good sign. It's usually the sign of a dehydrated gecko. But I am actually gonna show you something else on her setup, because the only way to explain to you is by showing. So as I was mentioning, normally one of the stuff that they will do when they are in a new environment is that they will not move at all. Like from one hide. They will simply be hiding in just one place. Now after a few days, or even after a couple of weeks, they have to they have to be active. Now usually they will not move when you are right there, because obviously they are not used to you. So they will actually notice when you're not there, and they will be active. Now for me, obviously I already have some experience with leopard geckos, so I already know if mine is active even when I'm not here. So for example, the way that I have this setup is actually very simple. Like for me, this is a very simple setup, a very simple way to know if they are active. Obviously this is the water bowl. All around this, sometimes you can see like that it got wet. So it's that's already a sign that she was being active. Now another sign for here is when I see all the substrate like to the sides. She was actually trying to move the substrate around at least. Obviously this is not even an inch of substrate, so there's no way for her to dig. Now another way for here, this is actually something that it's a very controversial. A lot of people say that leopard geckos do not bask. Now here I have a heat bulb, a basking bulb actually, and also a UVB light. So this would be basically her basking spot. And I actually shared the pictures before even making the video, but she was actually basking when I was right here. So she obviously uses this. Sometimes here in the morning I will see this on the floor. There's no way that this is gonna move alone. So these are just simple signs for me to know that she was being active, even if I wasn't here, to see it. That is another way to know that she's healthy. You do not want to see a leopard gecko never coming out of one hide. Alright, so that is basically the best way to know that you have a healthy gecko, at least physically. Now there are some leopard geckos that have problems mentally. They have neurological problems, and that usually comes in specific genes or morphs. Now obviously the most common one is the enigma. Obviously not all of them have them, but there are many enigma leopard geckos that have the enigma syndrome, which is a big problem for them, because this will cause them problems for basically everything. It will be very hard for them to hunt, so you have to always tongue feed. They might do some really weird stuff, because obviously they have this okay, I cannot say neurological fast. Okay, so I'm just gonna say mental, I'm sorry. Okay, because they have this mental problem. So if you're gonna get a leopard gecko, you're completely new to them, just stay away from any enigma morph. There are some white and yellow leopard geckos also that have these problems. Now this is not always the case, but especially the enigma. But okay, I'm not completely sure if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. Now, just in case anybody wants to give more information, just please do in the comments. I would love to pin that comment so that more people can read it. Obviously, I'm here to try to teach what I know, which might not be a lot, but it's obviously much more than somebody who's completely new to reptiles. So that is my goal. I want people to avoid making the mistakes that I did. So that is basically what I'm trying to do. So I also want to say that I am not the best person to explain. English is my second language, so I'm sorry some stuff sounded weird. I just hope that everything made sense. And well, actually she came out. You can barely see her. but I'm gonna take her out. Okay, come on, girl. Time to say goodbye. But yeah, so that is basically all for this video. So I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has been subscribing. We have been getting a lot of subscribers this month, so I really appreciate that. Thanks to you guys, I am getting closer and closer to that 1K subscribers. So thank you again. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't. Help me reach that 1,000 subscribers. And goodbye from Hershey's.